Just before I get started here, let me just say that if there are any students, members of the community, or press curious about Ken Smith's remark regarding pants, see me at the reception and I will explain. More than one comedian in this room. Thank you, Chairman Edwards, and a special thanks to all of our current and our past trustees, many of whom are here with us today. We are a community college, and it is you who have provided the vision and the guidance that have helped ensure that Northern Essex Community College continues to meet the needs of our community, as it has been doing successfully for more than 50 years now. Thank you, Congressman Tierney, Representative Campbell, Commissioner Freeland, for your kind remarks. While the roots of our work are buried deeply in the communities we serve, we are also a part of the larger Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and our mission is to serve both the local and the greater good of the residents of the state. Thank you, Ken Smith, Don Young, and Jerry Murphy. As the landscape of higher education in America has become more complicated, and as the resources needed to do our work effectively have become more scarce, support from our foundation, from our alumni, and from that unique and generous group of local leaders known as the Women of NECC has become more important than ever. Thank you, Reverend Bentley, President Dimitri, who could not be with us today, and President Hartlib for your stirring words and certainly for your accomplishments. It's deeply gratifying to see the imprint each of NECC's previous presidents has made on the college, and it's equally gratifying to see the imprint that the college has made on each of you. Thank you, Professor Cargan, for your remarks on behalf of the tremendously talented faculty and staff of NECC. You represent the most dedicated, innovative, student-centered group of educators it's been my privilege to know and to work with. Thank you, Jason Bohannon, for your welcome on behalf of the students and the Student Senate. As a former community college student myself, I know the demands on your time and your attention are great, and I appreciate how generously you share what you have to offer, not only today, but every day, and in many ways at Northern Essex. And Al Gettler, what can I say? As the publisher of one of the Merrimack Valley's most important and trusted sources of information and ideas, there's your commercial. As a member of NECC's foundation board, as an Andover Rotarian, as a leader, an influencer, a family man, and a part-time comedian, I can't think of anyone more devoted to the success of this region of the Commonwealth than you. I deeply appreciate your support here today. There are a few people who are not with us here today, but who are with me in one way or another every day. They are four very special people, mentors of mine, who have shaped me in profound ways, professionally and personally. Thank you, Ann Cawley. Thank you, Gary Filan, George Keith, and Al Bostic, for your wisdom, your patience, and your willingness to pay it forward. Thank you to the dozens of staff and faculty who have enthusiastically planned the many details of this inauguration. This doesn't happen by accident. This special celebration of Northern Essex Community College for months now. Special thanks to Jean Poth, Vice President of Institutional Advancement, Cheryl Goodwin, the Executive Assistant to the President, Ernie Greenslade, our Director of Public Relations, and Dick Goulet, our Director of Facilities, for their leadership, not only of these inauguration activities, but of the celebration of the college's 50th anniversary and all the wonderful events that have been going on for weeks now. They do deserve a hand for that, please. And thank all of you, the college presidents, the other institutional representatives, our business, education, and community leaders, alumni, students, family, and friends gathered here today. Thank you all for this opportunity and for this honor. And now I hope you don't mind if I take just a couple of minutes to introduce some very special members of my family who are here with us today. My mother, Judy Glenn, my father, Raymond Glenn, graduated from high schools near Warren, Ohio in 1957 and 1958. Dad enlisted in the Marine Corps and spent 20 years serving in our country's armed forces. 2 of those years on active duty in Vietnam, while Mom worked a variety of jobs, took care of my sister Nikki and I wherever we were stationed while I was growing up. Mom and Dad have been married now for 53 years. They make light of that. That deserves a round too, yes. Like anyone else married 53 years, they make light of that now and then. Dad will tell you there's nothing he won't do for Mom and nothing she won't do for him, so they go through life doing nothing for each other. But of course, nothing could be farther from the truth. They're amazingly close. They've supported each other through joyful times and through some very difficult ones as well. From these 2 wonderful people, I learned a lot about duty and personal responsibility, about taking care of yourself and those around you, about commitment to principles, and I learned that love and families are shaped in many different ways. I know this because these two people chose me. They adopted me when I was 2 years old. They provided me with a wonderful childhood and a strong foundation to build my life upon. And they were able to do this thanks to the courageous decision made by two other people who are here today. Lisa Carlson, my birth mother, and Doug Riley, my birth father. Lisa and Doug were young when I was born. They were college students themselves, and the time was not right for them to begin a family. But they chose to bring me into this world and to share me with two loving people who'd been dreaming of starting a family for a long time. I first met Lisa and Doug 11 years ago, shortly after my first daughter was born. And in meeting them, I also came to know my brothers, Adam and Mitch, another sister, Nell, who's here today, as well as Lisa's husband, my stepfather, Al Edelstein, and an amazing collection of aunts and uncles and cousins and stepbrothers and extended relatives that really it's been my pleasure growing close to over the last several years. And now, thanks to the happy events of this weekend and this morning, my mother and father met yesterday for the very first time. I want to thank them all for what they've taught me so far in this life and for all that they continue to teach me today. So Mom, Dad, thanks. I appreciate all the kind and generous things today's speakers have said about me. I'm truly both humbled and excited to become NECC's fourth president. Although I need to share with you something that one of my daughters asked me this morning as we were getting ready to come here today. She said, "Dad, would you tell me again what an inauguration is?" And I explained to her that it's a ceremony in which a new president swears an oath and officially becomes president. To which she asked the very sensible question, "Well, if you're just now starting your job as president, what have you been doing since last July?" It's a good question. But as much as today is an inauguration, even more importantly, it's a celebration of all that this college is today and all that it will become tomorrow. A moment ago, you heard the amazing voices of the NECC Chamber Choir under the direction of Elisa Bukhari sing The Impossible Dream. As all of you now know, I have a theater background, and this inspirational song comes from a Broadway musical called Man of La Mancha. When he sings this song in Man of La Mancha, the author Miguel de Cervantes is pretending to be the mad knight Don Quixote, and he's explaining to the lady Dulcinea why he behaves the way he does, why he wears a chamber pot on his head and jousts at windmills. Even though he doesn't always reach his goals, to him it's a song of personal triumph, of tremendous strength and optimism in the face of overwhelming odds. I love the song and its message, but today it was not performed as a song about one man's personal triumphs or his follies. And although I may have overcome some odds along the way in the course of my life and my career, it was not performed in honor of me. I do joust at windmills now and then, but I'm not Don Quixote. Instead, when I hear The Impossible Dream, when I hear about someone trying when their arms are too weary and reaching for what may seem to be an unreachable star, I think of the critical mission of community colleges, and I think of our students. As you saw in the brief video earlier, NECC and other community colleges are places where students can pursue and achieve their dreams. We're often called America's colleges or democracy's colleges for a number of reasons. We were invented in America. While other countries have traditional universities, vocational technical schools, polytechnic colleges, other forms of higher education, America invented this idea of a public two-year bridge between high schools and four-year colleges and universities. We embody American democratic principles like opportunity, access, and service to local community. Wherever you go in America, you are usually not far from a community college. More than any other segment of higher education, we've always been places where some of the most vulnerable and at-risk members of our community, first-generation and low-income students, students of color, students with learning and physical disabilities, and others come for an opportunity at higher education. Increasingly, we've also become places where students with financial means, veterans, honors students, adult learners of every kind begin to arrive or continue or even restart their educational journey. We are, in short, as I mentioned in the video, the Ellis Island of higher education, welcoming absolutely everyone to our shores and asking them to commit to their education and to their future. At the same time, our students do face some significant challenges. Most of them attend part-time. They work 30 or more hours a week. More than half of them are raising families. They regularly face financial challenges, transportation challenges, employment challenges, childcare challenges. One of the biggest challenges our students face is that most of them arrive at NECC, whether they're coming directly from a high school or returning from the workforce, not completely ready to do college-level work. They take developmental courses in mathematics and writing and reading, in English as a second language. And as a result of these personal and academic challenges, many students find the journey through a college degree or a certificate too long and hard, and they don't always accomplish their goals. But let me tell you something. Community college students are among the hardest working, most determined, and resilient students in all of education. I want to introduce a few of them to you now. Their stories are familiar to many of us here at the college, either because we know these students or because we know hundreds more just like them. Each of them has a dream, each of them has faced considerable challenges, and each of them has generously shared how Northern Essex Community College has helped them get to where they are today, on track with clear goals for their futures. Kayla Shields was a sophomore in high school when her father committed suicide. She struggled with substance abuse, spent time in a correctional facility. She's now 22. She has a boyfriend and a 2-year-old son who is the love of her life. She's a standout student in NECC's business program, and Kayla wants to be a CEO and own her own business one day. She describes NECC as an uplifting place because, as she says, everyone here makes her feel like she has potential. Izzy Estrada is 19 years old. He was raised by a single mom. He was the man of the house from age 5. When he graduated from high school in 2010, Izzy did what the rest of his family had always done. He took the responsible path and he went right to work, building kitchen cabinets in a wood shop. But he wanted to continue his education. He came to NECC, like many of our students, the first person in his family to attend college. He took his college placement tests and learned that he had to spend 2 semesters relearning math before he would be ready for college-level work. But he buckled down and he did it. And now he's in his 3rd semester of NECC's criminal justice program and working as a supplemental instruction leader, tutoring other students, largely other Hispanic male students, in college reading. When he graduates, he's heading for Bridgewater State University for his bachelor's degree and plans to go on for his master's degree. A high school dropout, Iyet Azur faced many challenges before arriving at NECC in 2010, including sexual abuse, domestic violence, and cancer. But as a result of her determination and her resiliency, Iyet has survived, and let me tell you, Iyet has thrived. Now she's in her 7th semester with us, double majoring in education and in English. She's the president of NECC's chapter of Phi Theta Kappa, that's the honor society for 2-year colleges. She's a supplemental instruction leader, tutoring and mentoring her peers. She served on the committee that hired Bill Heineman as NECC's vice president of academic affairs, so you know she's a pretty good judge of quality in other people. Iyet will tell you directly and with no hesitation that she is going to Columbia University when she graduates from NECC, and she will have glowing letters of recommendation from every employee of the college. She'll also tell you that she wants her 3 children to know there's nothing wrong with dreaming, because dreaming, even seemingly impossible dreams, leads to doing, to accomplishing wonderful things. Kayla called this morning. She's a mom. Her son is sick, and she could not be with us today. But would you join me, please, in welcoming to the stage Izzy Estrada and Iyet Azur. These students are remarkable, their stories are inspirational, and they deserve all of that admiration and all of that applause many times over, and they are not alone. Each year we have about 15,000 students studying at NECC and more than 70 degree and certificate programs and a lot more non-credit classes and programs. Every one of these students has a story to tell, a dream that they're pursuing. It may take them longer to complete their degrees, but they do. And they do so in increasing numbers. Last year, Northern Essex Community College awarded 1,048 degrees and certificates, the highest in the history of the college. And here are 2 important things that I'd like you to know about these graduates. Each year, close to 600 students continue their college education after graduating from Northern Essex. And when a student graduates from Northern Essex and then transfers to a four-year college or university, they are more likely to finish their bachelor's degree than if they had started at that four-year university. And when a student completes a degree or a certificate at Northern Essex Community College and goes looking for work, 95% of them are employed within a year of graduation, and most of those are working in their chosen career field. That is success. That is achieving the dream. So, as I stand here today, not alone as the newly inaugurated president of NECC, but alongside the students, the faculty, the staff, and the supporters of education in our community who are Northern Essex Community College, here is the bold and the simple vision that I have for this college's future. That we will tirelessly devote our time, our talents, and our resources to ensuring that everyone in our part of the Merrimack Valley who has a dream of college and what lies beyond is prepared for college, participates in college, and persists through college. To accomplish this vision, I'm asking for your help. For those of you here today who have young people you can influence, please do all you can to encourage them to prepare and plan for college now, to prepare themselves academically, to explore what colleges and careers are right for them, and to connect with mentors who will help them along the way. For the faculty and staff of Northern Essex Community College who have devoted your lives and your careers to being educators, hold close to your hearts the critical open-door mission of this institution. Remember that we're the Ellis Island of higher education, welcoming everyone to our shores. Continue, as you do so well, to meet each individual student where they are, hear their story, recognize their strengths, use your immense talents to help them get where they want to go. For the leaders of business, industry, and community organizations, and for our elected leaders gathered here today, please remember what community colleges are and who our students are. Recognize that in addition to helping individual students fulfill their dreams, our efforts strengthen the Merrimack Valley community by building our workforce, by growing our economy, by providing for our families and children. We are not merely an expense to be negotiated, we are an investment to be celebrated. And in case some of you are wondering how you might be able to help even more directly, please be assured that I and other eager and convincing members of the NECC faculty and staff will be visiting with you very soon. We've shown you this morning how an investment in this college can lead to better lives for students and stronger businesses and communities. So when we come knocking and seeking your help, whether it's to serve on one of our advisory boards, guest lecture in a classroom, provide an internship opportunity for a student, or write a check to help us pursue this important mission of ours, there's commercials all over the place here today, I hope you will respond with as much excitement and determination as Kayla, as Izzy, as Iat, and the other 14,997 students of Northern Essex Community College. Thank you for being here today for this celebration of Northern Essex Community College and our students, and thank you for this opportunity and this honor.